expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
How was Saturday night for you after the game? What'd you do to celebrate?
The only remedy, I thought maybe get a few cold beers in there and maybe help it out a little bit.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, ample sunshine. Our high this afternoon, mid-30s north, mid-40s south. Clear skies overnight will drop down into the lower 20s. We're back to sunshine on Friday, a high on Friday, right around 45. And then Saturday, mixture clouds and sunshine, highs in the low to mid-50s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
Catch your wife kissing Santa Claus, whose real name is Bobby from down the street? Want to know your rights in a divorce, custody, child support case? I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Call me today to discuss your options. Start the new year off with a new lease on life for you, and let Santa have her. Mock Legal Solutions, 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
One of the good guys in this profession. Literally, you think about a good man, that's who he is. So it's a sad day for all Arkansas fans and in our state.
This is The Morning Rush.
That was John Calipari earlier this week talking about Bob Holt, legendary sports writer interstate, who passed away at the age of 65 about 10 o'clock last night. Didn't ever think I was going to play the Old Missouri alma mater, but as Bob is a graduate of the University of Missouri, I thought it was an opportune moment to do so. Welcome into the Morning Rush. Tom Murphy's going to be with us to talk about his colleague, his friend, and someone that I've admired for quite some time at 10 o'clock this morning. Your calls and texts, if you have a favorite interaction with Bob over the years, if there was something that maybe you read about, you remembered him about. I can think of an early occurrence in my career when I was a sophomore in college, bewildered, scared out of my mind, walking into the press room for the first time. And Bob and I bonded over the Green Bay Packers. And I found one person in that media room that was a fan of my favorite NFL team. And so from time to time, we talked about that, various other things. He was always kind, always genuine, and just hate to hear what happened following the Missouri game and hate to hear that he's no longer with us as of last night.
Yeah, it was, just awful news to get early this morning. And, never met anyone. Bob was one of those folks. I don't think Bob, and there were some coaches that maybe didn't like the questioning in the moment, but I don't think Bob had any enemies. Everyone respected Bob, his soft natured approach to the way he would ask a difficult question was masterful. And, Bob the one thing you can say without question is, Bob's life ended doing exactly what he loved to do. He was covering a game, and probably not the way you'd always write it up, but you know what? In the end, if golf's your passion, covering sports and writing was his passion. Had done it beyond retirement age for many. There's worse ways to go, and Razorback sports and the coverage and the media is not in a better place today with the loss of Bob Holt. That's for sure. That is for sure. Your thoughts on and memories of Bob, and maybe something he wrote over the years you want to share with us. We'll share those throughout the morning here. It's 9:03. We're brought to you by the Hickey and Hole Law Partners. Kevin and Brad and their team have grown their practice over the last 4 or 5 years. Additional locations. We've told you about them. Want to remind you again, not only in Fort Smith and Northwest Arkansas, but also in Mena and Little Rock. So whether you're in Benton or Bentonville or any point in between, Brad and Kevin and their team of attorneys that have over 7 decades of combined experience are ready to go to work for you. Whether it's a divorce or a custody case, if you need an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process, you'll find it with the Hickey and Hole Law Partners. Call for your first consultation, 479-434-2414, 434-2414, or go to kevinhickeylaw.com.
So for our opening drive this morning, I want to play a cut from Shane Beamer, South Carolina coach, who went off this week.
I might take a couple days, but when you kind of look at all the vagueness of what the committee decides and how they can have one priority one year, not one the next, does that influence you in any way going forward? Do you talk with whoever the next AD is about changes?
If you're asking, is there anything to gain by playing in some of these games that you play out of conference? I think it's something that not just us, but every team needs to look at, because clearly you can go through an entire season, not beat a ranked team, and be in the playoff if you just win.
He's talking about a few teams that are currently set up in the college football playoff. And in addition to that, I want to hear from Arkansas's own Rhett Lashley talking about, hey, they're going to play in the ACC championship this weekend, but they might be better off not.
If our team all got COVID today and didn't play, we're in. Wow. We're in, right? We don't have another data point to drop us below anybody that's behind us.
Based on what happened in 2020, that's how it would go. Yeah.
I think if you open up that door, you're going to see a lot of people do a lot of crazy things. Yes, we're not going to. We're going to go play in Charlotte, and we're going to try to compete for our championship because that's the right thing to do. That's what competitors do. We value an opportunity to share the field with someone like Clemson, a fantastic team, and try to do something special. And so I just, like I said, I'm going to choose to believe that on Sunday that the right thing will be done as well on the other end.
That was an interview on On3 with Andy Staples, and I forget his co-host name, but is there any false statements from either Beamer or Lashley there?
Here's the thing that's going to be great about this process is, in the NCAA tournament, multiple teams always have a case. They were the last 4 out or whatever, what right on the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
We've never really used bubble conversations too much with college football. Sometimes there's one team, the old BCS era, then the 4-team playoff. There was maybe the next team, but it's been pretty clear cut, right? Well, the top 4 teams were pretty obvious. Sometimes the top 2 teams are even more obvious. Well, this is going to be a lot murkier, a lot more gray. So, everyone's jockeying for position. I don't know that these statements by coaches or media taking staunch stands on something, even the most prominent national media, sway the opinions of those on the committee. They're there for a reason. I think the data points, and it would be really interesting to see all of the stuff they look at beyond what should be a well-based eye test. And that's what I also wonder about with this committee. When you look up and down that roster, you've got some football people in there, but you got some that you wonder, what are their metrics? What are the data points they value the most as well?
Mm-hmm. We'll get a chance to see after the conference championship games this weekend how things are going to shake out. Iowa State at Arizona State for the Big 12 championship. Georgia, Texas for the SEC championship. That one's at 3 o'clock on Saturday. Clemson versus SMU. Arkansas's own Rhett Lashley, like I mentioned. Penn State versus Oregon, and then UNLV versus Boise State. So some of the big games of the weekend. Plenty of coaches will have opinions on this week, and I'm curious to see what opinions are also outspoken following the conference championship games. All right, that is your opening drive here this morning. It's brought to you by our friends at First Financial Mortgage. Always appreciate what Ethan does for the River Valley when it comes to helping people along in this process, like he helped me along back in June and July. Whenever I do refinance eventually, the plan is to talk to Ethan, go through that process once again. He's been with First Financial for over 10 years, and First Financial Mortgage has over 90 years in the mortgage sector. I had a great experience, over 300 five-star reviews for Ethan. He's the best lender in town, might be the best golfer too. Give him a call, 479-782-9300, or you can go online to ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender. So, like we mentioned yesterday, National Signing Day on a Wednesday in December is a little different than I would be on February. You've signed, I say you've signed the majority of your class, but Tommy, you'll still probably sign 15 plus kids out of the transfer portal, depending on roster sizes and everything. But Arkansas did have a surprise, and I've been working on it. I'm probably going to butcher it as I say
We'll put you in charge of this name.
Madden Iamaliava. I actually said it right.
Pretty close.
I actually said it right.
Yeah.
Madden Iamaliava flipped from UCLA to Arkansas yesterday. That was a surprise. I saw, like, when
his brother?
Nico, who's at Tennessee. That name should ring a bell to you if you have that. But that was kind of the big surprise from yesterday for Arkansas. I know that, like, Grayson Wilson got asked about it. Here's this audio courtesy of KATV.
I wasn't aware of that. I was told that they weren't going to. So, that's tough. But, I mean, that's part of it. It's kind of like last year they signed one out of high school and then portaled one in. Actually, I think they portaled two in. But, either way, they're going to bring in guys, and they're trying to get the best player that's going to play the position, And, I'm going to have to outwork everybody either way to be the starter.
So my question is, how do you feel if you're him?
Well, I wonder. First thing when this news was out there, generally signing two quarterbacks is not what they do. You've still got Kane Archer in the mix for a year from now. Portal changes everything on the instant, but I wonder with Malachi Singleton leaving how much that maybe led to them signing two quarterbacks in this class. Out of 23, you got two quarterbacks. Generally don't go that direction, but it's Singleton's decision to enter the portal part of this process.
I don't know. I don't know if they...
And also, the other thought I have was, just give you a little bit of news about Bobby Petrino and maybe his long-term plans to stay and be at Arkansas. I've never really thought he wavered, even though he was, talking with Charlotte, was on their list. Doesn't mean that he was really looking to leave University of Arkansas. But if you're this guy out in California, are you flipping and coming to Arkansas from UCLA if you don't have kind of at least a solid indication that the OC and QB coach is going to stay? That's kind of my reading of the tea leaves. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think you would make that move on National Signing Day unless you had a pretty good indication your position coach and coordinator was going to still be there.
And he's from Long Beach, California, which to
you got what's his dimensions too? Is it on that sheet?
Where'd it go?
Print that off. I can get the email.
It's on the rundown. 6'3", 200.
A little more of the body type and height and stuff that kind of fits a
what's great
prototypical. He's like
6'3", 205.
Yeah. Isn't that a little more like a Bobby Petrino type quarterback? I mean,
what's Tyler's?
Mallet was 6'6". Tyler was 6'4", 6'5", somewhere in there.
He'd tell you 6'5".
6'4". 6'3.5".
Found out yesterday, by the way, your spine compresses. The older you get, and you shrink with age. I didn't.
You just found this out?
Well,
I'm amazed at the things you learn.
My grandma always talks about
30.
You're getting bigger and I'm getting smaller, and I mean I thought it was like when you had back issues, but I guess it's just it's for everyone that. I think I've actually grown to 6 feet. So you're telling me when I hit a certain age, I'm actually going to drop below 6 feet? That's a bummer. But back to your story.
6 foot?
I think
I heard from the popcorn.
We can measure me right now. I truly believe I'm actually. I think I've grown And most guys don't grow, or gals grow after college, but I think I've actually grown to 6
I've
feet.
grown, but it's the wrong
It's the wrong
out.
direction. But back to your point about quarterback.
Morning Rush Daily
prototype.
Question, early edition. Is Ty actually 6 foot tall?
877-377-6963.
And if you're like me and you're under 5'9", what would you give to be 6 foot tall?
I would give a lot to be like 6'4", 6'5", like Tyler is. But back to the point about like quarterback and prototype. So Jaden Thibodeau, I think is 6'6", the kid they've got committed in 2026, young man from South Carolina, 6'3". I know there's questions about Kane Archer and where he'll end up. Kane is like rock solid 6 feet. But when he came in here, like we're basically eye to eye, head to head. So I'm thinking he's 6. What is he? 6'1", 6 feet. Just give me this. Give me something. I never get anything. Give me this that I've risen to 6 feet. But that being said, like back to your kind of where your thinking was originally going before you were just dissing my height, which I'm taller than you, by the way. But
no question there.
that prototype, that mold, that's pretty typical when it comes to Petrino. So don't know if we're going to see, and maybe Malachi thought.
And I don't have the roster. You got the rosters over there somewhere. What's Malachi Singleton's?
I think he was like 6'1". I think he's listed 6.
I don't know.
6'1", I think.
It's going to get worse before it gets better in the mind of the fans. You got guys like Satania entering, and listen, business is going to pick up on this portal stuff as we get closer to Monday morning. But just keep your powder dry. There's help on the way, but there will be more out of the portal coming to fill some of these voids.
I'm glad you said it. Did you hear Stoops this week in his press conference? He said this at the end of it.
Nobody panic. We're going to have a better football team. All right.
Nobody panic. What did they go 3-9, 4-8 this year? Whatever it was. They did get that win on the road in Oxford, and they played Georgia close,
which is very
might be the most
key. Might be one of the most key wins or losses, depending on how you look at it. In relation to the teams getting into the playoffs.
Christian, to your point, that may have saved his job. I mean, you're 3-9, but you brought up repeatedly, and I don't think you're wrong. Like I don't
they
think
weren't going to fire Marks too.
Well, I don't think athletics directors want, and he might have. I think I'm right on this. Before Elko got hired, there were, I don't know if they're rumors, concrete or whatever, but that he can end up in College Station at A&M, and I think he either used it to get a contract extension or that led to a contract extension and a raise.
He's got more wins as the Kentucky head coach than anyone else. He's the winningest head coach in Kentucky football history.
And
they had a guy named Bear Bryant there once upon a time.
Yeah, that's the most famous and notable Kentucky coach. And I think about Joker Phillips, Rich Brooks. Who else?
Al Mummy.
Okay.
Who might have been one of the real
with Leach.
Yeah,
Was it
one of the real innovators and godfathers of the air raid type system.
Was that 99? In my timeline,
they had that real shootout there in Little Rock when Hal Mummy was there, Arkansas and Kentucky.
Back to the height situation. Andy in Mountain Home says that I'm listed in the media guide for the Morning Rush and ESPN Arkansas at 6.
Yeah, you're listed at 6'1". You're actually.
I'd actually like to now. I'd
half.
like to measure myself because I want to see where I actually am when it comes to. I can't remember what it said. What my nurse said my last checkup.
I think you're a little taller than me.
Okay, what are you at, Christian?
I like to round up to 5'11", but I think I'm actually 5'10".
I think I have on my driver's license that I was 5'11", but that was 4 years ago. So I think I've grown.
You'll get older like me, and you won't care anymore.
Well, it's just it's a point of pride for men to say you're 6 feet. Ryan in Prairie Grove says, my wife.
I mean, what did you really do to achieve that?
I've given up on trying to be 6 feet.
My genes battled, and
I mean, what did you really do? Well, I put in a lot of hard work to get to 6'1". I mean, what did you do?
Well, I listen. No one ever knocks me for being
upside down. I mean, what did you do?
My issue is a lot of my friends are tall, and even though by comparison I'm not short, when I'm standing next to them, guys that are 6'4", 6'5", 6'3", I look like a shrimp. And when you're,
what could I have done to be taller? I mean,
stretch.
What
stretch.
workout regimen Well, if I'd only run that extra mile.
Here's the thing:
I mean,
you
if
were
I'd only eaten one less Big
you were
Mac,
no, you were squatting, you were squatting and bench pressing.
You know,
you were
jeans.
squatting and leg pressing 400 and 500 pounds in high school, and so your growth was stunning.
Oh, is that it?
Like Teddy's taller. Is Teddy 6 feet?
Is your dad taller than you, Ty?
No, he's like 5'6".
Oh,
he's.
Then you got kind of lucky then.
Yes, I
If
did get
if you
lucky
wanna
in
look
that.
At it that way.
How much taller is you than Teddy?
Teddy's not 6 foot, but he's probably 5'10", 5'11".
Okay. So he's
an inch or two taller. than
Okay, has he ever held that against you in any way, shape, or My brother's taller than me.
I don't.
And
I
it
mean,
ticks
you'll
me
get
off.
the older you get, now that you're entering your.
Do you
30s,
honestly think I'm going to mature in like as I go? You've been with me for 6 years. I'm pretty much the
I'm
same
hopeful.
person.
Me and Clay
that
are
I
hopeful.
was- that
We
I
have
was at
monthly meetings
23.
hoping. We'll sit around and have some brown water and hope you do mature because
Mature.
And we've come up with a word. We don't know that you're going to mature. Clay coined the word. We think you're just going to matured.
Matured.
So-
David Nixa, love Nixa Mo. My buddy Richie's from there said that shrinking happens. Chase in Fort Smith said you
I
shouldn't
was
use
in the pool.
Alan and Alma.
I saw that episode of Seinfeld the other day.
Alan and Alma's
But I was in the pool.
265 pounds and he's 6'4". Jeez. Oh, by the way, on the subject of Jerry Seinfeld, this is probably your not kind of comedy.
Yeah.
Did you see Theo Vaughn is coming to town? Do you know who
I
that?
did.
Okay.
I saw that and I was like, "Who is this?"
So for my generation, it's like these podcasters have become more famous than talk show hosts. We've talked about this a little bit, but he's coming on Thursday, April the 10th to Bud Walton Arena, and so that kind of sparked the thought, like, who is the best comedian?
And
of
I
all
knew
time?
I said, "Well, this guy's got to be a big deal." I have no idea, but you don't perform in Bud Walton Arena if you're a.
Oh, he'll fill it up. He's this
Right, I
Cajun redneck that is hilarious. But that.
So would I enjoy this?
I think so.
It's going to be when?
Thursday, the 10th of April. Yeah.
April. Okay.
The tickets go on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. to the public.
Okay,
but
there you go. You can buy me that for Christmas.
Oh, there you. Oh, actually, your brother actually kind of gave me some advice on that. So
Oh.
your gift has already been purchased.
I mean, nothing like a second gift.
Yeah, that's on a radio budget. That's tough.
Yeah.
His tour is
No
called
problem on yours.
Return of the Rat. Is what it's called.
Return of the Rat.
Return of the Rat. So you mentioned Seinfeld. I thought of Robin Williams, Rodney Dangerfield, the guys that are more my generation, are like Dave Chappelle and Matt Rife. Do you have a comedian that like you would actually go pay to see, dead or
I paid
alive?
to see Seinfeld in Vegas once.
Was that good or yeah?
Okay.
Like that. Some guys are really good when they write their own stuff. Some guys are good at stand up. It's just like you go up and down with some of these
Yeah,
things.
I like, one of the things when Laura and I have nothing to do and we're not taxing kids around, someday you'll have kids and you'll become a taxi service like we are.
I'll pay for
You'll
someone to do
get
that.
on Netflix and you'll watch comedy show. I mean, that's something we do. And who's the dude without the shirt? Bert Kreischer or something? He's funny. I like him.
Bert Kreischer.
I'm probably I know it's Bert, but he does his whole act and he's got a physique about like mine. He doesn't need to be walking around without a shirt on, but that's part of the routine.
Is that his shtick?
Yeah,
Is he
he's pretty funny.
He leans into that a
Yeah.
little bit. Nate Bargatze.
No, he doesn't. I mean, he doesn't do a lot with it. He just up there without a shirt on. Middle-aged guy with no shirt.
Eric texted in Sam Kinison.
Yep.
Who's
He was
that?
great. He was he's the guy that likes to yell a lot. Can't say a lot of him. George Carlin would be the one I would probably pay hundreds of dollars.
I saw
to
that
see.
and I didn't. I forgot to write that down.
Carlin would be one. Dangerfield was great. He wasn't really dry humor, but when he was on, he just such self-deprecating humor. I love Dangerfield.
Ryan texting in Roy D. Mercer calls.
Yeah.
Are those? Is that his actual
Please
name?
tell me you're familiar.
Nope. Oh, Christian knows.
Yeah.
Crap.
How about in a whooping?
Yeah. I'm about to open up a can during the break.
There's a 2-on-1.
Me and Sharon Jean.
The fast break and Ty gets dunked on.
Hey, we're brought to you by River City Coatings in Van Buren. They do more than just powder coat, which is more than a layer of paint. It becomes part of the metal that can withstand chemicals, abrasions, take the weathering and all those type of things. You never have to paint it again. But in addition to powder coating, at River City Coatings, they do laser cutting, press brake forming, and welding as well. River City Coatings, 471-7675, 471-7675, or find them at rivercitycoatings.com.
All right, our hog update's coming up.
I'm
Again,
about to come down there and whoop them, man.
but you can't say it on air? Does it get that vulgar? Yeah.
No, it was a radio bit.
Okay.
I can't believe you, being a radio man, don't know Roy D. Mercer.
I don't know if anyone identifies me as a radio man, just to be honest.
Streaming live from
HitThatLive.com.
Hey, this is Hunter Yurtek, Director of Athletics at the University of Arkansas, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Robert, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. I should say it?
Say what?
Mom, I think he wants to say that it's Christmas time.
Okay, you can say it.
It's Christmas, everyone, and guess what, guys?
What?
Santa shop's here at the Stadium Shop. Oh, Lord, Mom, here comes that dad side. Nope, I saw him. Matt, you still do believe in Santa, right? Sure. Believers do get more presents.
Okay, so what did he get?
Let me guess, a couch for the elves, collars for the reindeer, maybe even a hoodie for Frosty. You know how cold he gets being made of snow and all.
And let me guess, some Razorback jewelry for Mrs. Claus?
Well, yeah, Matt, you better get that Google machine all warmed up. He said he was going to be ordering some more stuff.
Google machine?
Yeah, you know, the Interfacegram WW. I think he's talking about our website, which you should know by now, Dad. It's shoponrazorback.com.
Or have Santa give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
So come by 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville, and you just might catch Santa Hog. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us. Ho, ho, ho.
This is The Morning Rush.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Swing into savings this Christmas at the Golf Nut with these unbeatable offers. Strixon ZX irons, up to $200 off, and Strixon golf balls. Buy 2 dozen, get 1 dozen free. Lessons are always a great idea for your golfer. Contact Matt Brooks to set up an appointment. From top-of-the-line equipment to stylish apparel, the Golf Nut has the perfect gift. Give the gift of a better game this Christmas at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. Shop now and make this season a hole-in-one.
I doubt you thought paint was anything like football, right? So you've got a favorite football team. Your painting team at the paint store in Van Buren gets you a solid primer, the perfect color, and a durable defense. That is what you want, right? Our team of Richards Paint and expertise always win for you. Whether contractor or do-it-yourself, we have the best team. The paint store in Van Buren. Go Hogs!
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bushfield. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bushfield. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of life.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything. Service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials. Tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbor since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSAuto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
If you're just jumping in with us, Bob Holt, legendary Arkansas sports writer in the state, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, passed away at the age of 65 last night. Bob was not only known for his kindness, but his great interactions with coaches, including one he had with Cal before he got to Arkansas.
Hey, John, Bob Holt, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. I added two-parter if that's okay. You mentioned Arkansas. Eric.
Why do you always talk about Arkansas? But go ahead.
Well, why do you always talk about Kentucky?
Now, Cal has gotten to know Bob a little more the last few months since he's been on campus as the Arkansas basketball coach, and this is kind of what he said about him earlier this week.
One of the good guys in this profession. Literally, you think about a good man, that's who he is. So it's a sad day for all Arkansas fans and in our state.
Got a text this morning from our friend Keith Wilson at CJ's, and Keith texted me just the simple phrase, he was an Arkansas treasure. And Tommy, I don't know if there's a better way to describe Bob than how Keith did this morning.
Well, and he was soft-spoken, as you can hear, kind of in the way he approached it, but he was willing to ask the first question, the middle question, the last question, and all of them had a point of where he was going. And generally, you know, when Bob asked you a question, there was going to be a follow-up, and he was going to get to probably a very difficult answer for the coach to deliver in most press conferences. So he did not mind asking the tough ones, and he didn't mind being the first one, and he had earned the right to go first anytime he wanted. Just to put and be as blunt as possible, the questions that you want answered post-game, most of the time Bob asked them. He was just straight down the middle. The term journalist is loosely used nowadays. Like Tommy and I don't identify as that. We grew up being fans of the University of Arkansas and the football, basketball, baseball, you name it. But Bob, he just got the details, the research, what happened, what the coaches thought, and I really appreciate that. Just the integrity that it's very hard to do in today's day and age, but Bob was as talented in that regard as it gets, and forever appreciate just the kindness that he not just showed me, but everyone else in the industry and any interaction he had with fans or whoever else. You just go to Twitter right now, or X, and search Bob Holt, Arkansas. You'll see posts there with the tribute from John Calipari, from Brett Bielema, from the Football Writers Association. Those are the first three. Alyssa Orange, our friend at KNWA, John Fagg, former administrator at Arkansas, Kendall Rogers, who
Kevin Trainer,
who is the baseball writer that of record in the country. So you can just go through Tim Horton, former coach here. Just scrolling on through, just some of the national names. Herb Vincent with the SEC offices, who deals with media relations for the conference. So I mean, just keep going and going, and that's the impact Bob had. But when you had a career as long and as lengthy as his, you make an impact with those people. And Clay will be with us tomorrow. We're going to talk to Tom Murphy later in the show. But, Bob recently got inducted into the Arkansas Sportscasters and Sports Writers Hall of Fame. And so glad that happened. And he was there to accept that award because if nothing else, Bob was working the Arkansas-Missouri game when he had his medical episode last week following the game. Just reminds us all, life's short. You never promise tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And, but man, when you get to go doing what you love, that's a pretty sweet deal as well. And Bob loved to cover the Razorbacks. He loved to cover sports. He loved to be at a press conference. He loved to ask the questions. And Bob's final moments was doing exactly what he loved to do.
That is your Hog Update this morning. It's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
So we were talking about comedy earlier. Theo Vaughn, some of you know who that is, some of you don't. He's a comedian that's coming to Bud Walton Arena in April, and the name Roy D. Mercer was brought up.
Randy Merriman, can I help you, please?
Randy, my name is Roy D. Mercer. I live out here in Dixon, Kentucky over here.
Uh-huh.
Listen, I was in your shop and bought me some foam sealer.
Uh-huh.
I was using that this morning to seal up some windows.
Uh-huh.
And we were keeping my mother-in-law's little Pekingese dog. Edward G. Robinson is what he's called it. And he was down there, and I put that foam can down to one of them things with a trigger on it.
Uh-huh.
And that thing stuck, and that little dog was down there, and they got to lapping at it, and I didn't see it, and it foam sealed his mouth shut down there.
It did.
Damn sure it did, and I tell you what's worse, that little dog had come down sick a couple of days ago. Had him a cold, and he had it stopped up nose, and hell, the little thing, I guess he drowned in his own snot down there, Randy.
He did.
Hell,
What? I don't know what to say.
it ain't funny, I'll tell you.
Trust me, I'm not laughing.
Oh, you cut off the best part.
He'll get to the part eventually where he says, how about I come?
Yeah, that's all the setup. That was just the setup. So
Okay, you did that. So
no, I was going to say, don't stop it. That was the signal. Don't stop it. So, but he's getting ready to come down there and whoop a man's ass. Is what he opened up a 55-gallon drum on.
So wait, was that? What was he
radio
known?
bit?
Okay.
Guys named Phil and Brent. They were on KMOD in Tulsa. And
Okay, so they're not far from us at all.
No.
So my excuse for not knowing who they are just keeps getting worse and
Getting
worse.
worse and worse. I mean, they put albums out with this stuff.
News to me.
I am.
It's 9:34
I'm never
on December the 5th, and Ty just learned something new again. Who is
What else will
surprised?
he learn today? Let's check the Bet Saracen app for that. Bet Saracen, Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. Pack 7 out of $10 wagered in Arkansas's bet on the Bet Saracen app. You get on for all the college championship games this weekend. It's Bet Saracen. Go to betsaracen.com for more details. And I'm going to whoop a man's ass.
Boogie's open in the corner, flan for three. It's good. And Arkansas leads.
Boogie just keeps doing boogie things. Just keep boogieing.
This is the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Robert, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. I should say it.
Say what?
Mom, I think he wants to say that it's Christmas time.
Okay, you can say it.
It's Christmas, everyone, and guess what, guys?
What?
Santa shop's here at the Stadium Shop. Oh, Lord, Mom, here comes that dad side. Nope, I saw him. Matt, you still do believe in Santa, right? Sure. Believers do get more presents.
Okay, so what did he get?
Let me guess. A couch for the elves, collars for the reindeer, maybe even a hoodie for Frosty. You know how cold he gets being made of snow and all.
And let me guess, some Razorback jewelry for Mrs. Claus?
Well, yeah, Matt, you better get that Google machine all warmed up. He said he was going to be ordering some more stuff.
Google machine?
Yeah, you know, the Interfacegram WW. I think he's talking about our website, which you should know by now, Dad. It's shoponrazorback.com.
Or have Santa give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
So come by 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville, and you just might catch Santa Hog. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Ho, ho, ho.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hudson Clark with his 5th career interception.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us. Dealer of Yokohama Tires. We keep America rolling.
This is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Unto us a child is given, and his name shall be Wonderful, Counselor, Emmanuel, God with us. Mike Blaylock with Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. From all of our families here at Blaylock, we would like to wish you and your family a very, very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
Christmas shopping is easy at Jelco Outdoors with so many great gift ideas for those on your shopping list. Save 25% off all Yeti and Yukon Outfitter ice chests, coolers, tumblers, and cups. A large selection of the footwear and clothing for work to the woods, archery, hunting, and fishing gear for those that enjoy the great outdoors. If in doubt, a Jelco gift card is always a perfect fit. Jelco Outdoors, your one-stop Christmas shopping destination store. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith. And Merry Christmas from Jelco Outdoors.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for a limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Time for the Carpat Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Kristen's Place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com.
So, Morning Rush Daily question is, how should we feel about the 23 signees yesterday on National Signing Day? According to Rivals, you had the 25th ranked class in the country. According to ESPN, the 27th ranked class. According to 247 Sports, you were number 28. On 3 had you at number 29. Does that excite you? Do you feel good about it? Now, despite what the guys in the afternoon tell you, that I'm reading directly from the university notes. So
what did they say?
This is the propaganda. Well, I mean, they always just say that, but here's what they also included. So full context, and I'm reading directly from the notes yesterday. Top 30 top 30 or better in all the national rankings, right?
Okay.
But according to Rivals, you're number 12 in the SEC. According to ESPN, you're number 14 in the SEC. You're 28th nationally with 247 or 247 Sports, but you're 13th in the league. And with On 3, you're 29th nationally, but 15th in the league. So, how do you balance that in your mind? How do you feel about the way Arkansas performed on National Signing Day? Top 25-ish nationally, outside of the top 12 within your own conference.
Well, if you don't get, I think that you have a different conversation. But you at least kind of got some intrigue yesterday when you bring in Madden. And for those that don't know, Nico's little brother, originally committed to UCLA, flipped to Arkansas on National Signing Day. And you always bring this up. How many times does it go the other way?
Yeah.
Where you got a kid, you're like Dorial Green Beckham is the one that always stands out to me. Missouri kid ends up going to Mizzou, and you just think I was texting buddies that were partying with him on Saturday the week before National Signing Day, and I said, "What do you think?" And he said directly, "We got him." Yeah. Turns out on Wednesday we didn't. So I would say it's mid. It's more exciting. It's very par for the course for Arkansas, but it's not. You can't even say it's mid in the SEC based on the rankings you just listed.
And listen, that ain't an opinion. I'm just again reading from the notes here. So for those that tell you they had never report anything that's not, to me that's not reporting great news. I would have left that line off if I worked in that office.
Well,
but that's full context.
I appreciate the honesty. I sent Kyle an email this morning because that rundown they sent, it's like, this is helpful. I appreciate it. What I will say about this, you got, like, when you think about this week and what we've learned, Malachi's leaving. Malachi Singleton's gone. He's entering the portal, which opens on Monday. Yesterday, we found out Isaiah Satania's in the portal. So that's 2 guys that are liked by this Arkansas fan base. But the guys that are coming back, Tommy, are Fernando Carmona Jr., who's your anchor at left tackle, Xavier Sori, your best defensive player, and Cam Ball, your best defensive lineman. So, to me, those 3 additions, or I say additions, what do you call them, stayers? Like guys are staying on campus? Retained players are maybe bigger than anyone that you got in this upcoming class outside of Tavion Wallace.
I was talking with a coach. I was talking high school coach, but like a 30-year veteran. And we were just, guy's been around the block a little bit.
Coaching for a long time.
And we were just talking about the nonsense and the BS these coaches have to deal with now, and the re-recruitment of every player on your roster every day, and how exhausting that would be, and why, and that's probably a big part of why some of the old school guys, the veteran guys, are choosing to do TV or other things. See Nick Saban, but 4 offensive linemen, 5 defensive linemen in this class. I don't know if this it's hard for me to tell you whether or not getting a high school offensive lineman addresses the need because it's not immediate. I don't expect, how many of these 23 players you expect to play in the 25 season to a significant degree?
Well, look at
certainly not the linemen.
Look at last year. I don't think many of the ones
That's
we got
last
year.
Let's just point to last year.
But they'll get in their 4 games if they're good. If they're good enough, let me say that. If they're good enough, they'll play in the 4 games. But you'd like to preserve that red shirt.
And it's not just playing. It's actually not just special teams, because there'll be some guys that have special teams. But I'm just going to.
If either quarterback in this class has to play, that's bad, right?
Grayson, Wilson, or Madden. Yeah, right. That wouldn't be good.
That wouldn't be good.
Can have you gotten used to the idea that you're going to have to say that kid's name repeatedly?
Iamaleava.
You said it right.
I don't think he pronounced his own name right. I listened to something a video he did, and he said his name.
I listened to his brother talk about it. No, to you,
the Cameron Settles guy from Parkview. Now we saw a freshman come in and contribute this year with Braylon Russell.
Yeah,
so,
he's banged up.
But he's banged up, like I said. If either one of those quarterbacks have to play, certainly beyond the 4 games, there's bigger issues.
Well, I'm looking at this list, and I know CJ played a little bit. CJ Brown, Bentonville High School. I think Charleston Collins, I think, got in a little bit. But Braylon, at least.
But who didn't? I mean, Braylon Russell would be one that was beyond the 4 games. I'm not talking about guys that get to play in 4 games or make it. I'm talking guys that lost their red shirt as a true freshman this year.
Braylon might be
Luke Haas type guys are on this list that come in and not just play but contribute, make a marked difference. I don't know.
Maybe
how could you sit here and say at this point with any validity?
They're excited about Tavion Wallace, similar to Bradley Shaw the year before, Hoover, Alabama kid. They got a highly recruited, wanted everywhere 4-star linebacker that they're excited about the prospect of the future. And considering your defensive coordinator is a linebacker coach, you like what could bode well there.
And another wide receiver from Warren and Antonio Jordan. So that's been a great place for Arkansas.
He is not he's not as highly recruited as Traylon was, or Jarius, or Greg, or Chris Bragg.
6'6", 230, Warren, Arkansas.
I like
take
the back part, yeah. All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Stop by and see Christian and Nate and their facility in Lowell. It's the #1 golf facility in all of Arkansas. And with it getting colder here in the natural state, I saw that it's going to be like 20-some-odd degrees later on this week. But you still want to do something, right? You don't want to just sit inside all day. Well, you can stop by Cart Pass Social with your friends, your family. Maybe you still haven't planned that office Christmas party. It's a great place for corporate events. And you don't have to be this avid golfer. You can just have some fun out there. Weekends, college football, NFL, great place. Up to 8 golfers allowed per bay. And you don't pay per person. It's per bay. Plus, it's BYOB. Bring your own food. Bring your own drink. Stop by and see them, 122 Grant Place in Lowell, or online at cartpasssocial.com.
Hey, I want to mention our friends over at Taco Bell are doing a can drive this weekend to help the Community Services Clearinghouse. From open to close at Taco Bell locations in Fort Smith or on U.S. Highway 71, Towson Avenue, North Greenwood, and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. For every canned good you bring in, when you come in with canned goods to donate, they're going to give you a free coupon for a free taco. So, go by. All donations stay local and go directly to the Community Services Clearinghouse. So none of this leaves the area for their food pantry program here at the holidays. It's a friendly competition, I'm told, between the Taco Bell stores. So if you got a favorite one, or you got a friend or a relative that works at one, maybe that's where you take it. But that's all at Taco Bell this Saturday only, from open to close. Taco Bell's canned food drive to support the Community Services Clearinghouse food pantry.
We didn't get a chance to hear from Pittman yesterday. That press conference, according to Arkansas Communications, is going to be rescheduled. But I am curious to hear from the head ball coach, not just about this 2025 class, but also kind of what they're thinking about maybe for the bowl game announcement, which should be around Sunday at some time, probably late afternoon if I had to guess. Maybe you'll get some word before that. And then also just kind of like what he's thinking about, what they need roster-wise. And things will change over the next couple weeks with guys entering the portal, how the roster's currently constructed now versus how it'll look in even 2 weeks is going to look entirely different. And that's just kind of the world we live in today, and not just college football, but college sports.
Yeah, and what your roster going to be like for a bowl game? I mean, there's going to be a bowl at some point. May not be this year. It's coming because of players opting out. A team, you're just not going to have enough players to put on the field that have played at all this year. I mean, you're going to have freshmen out there that are going to be starting that have played less than 4 games this year.
Yeah.
I don't want to say you're cheating the fans, but you're helping the players gain some experience. But the products you're going to see in these bowl games are not going to be anywhere near on the lower level bowl games what you saw in the regular season.
Think about the future potentially for Arkansas football. Some guys that maybe played some spot minutes here and there that you might see some more of. I think about Arkansas in the Tampa Bowl a couple years back with Penn State. I know most notably Traylon Burks was not in that game. Passing game didn't look great because they were missing their best wide receiver. But Penn State had a lot of guys that were getting ready for the NFL draft. So you kind of caught the lucky side of that, to your point on that. Now, to your point about just opt-outs and whatever, I want to go back to what Rhett Lashley, SMU coach, had to say. They've got their ACC championship game this weekend against Clemson. Here's the Arkansas native and his thoughts.
if our team all got COVID today and didn't play, we're in.
Wow.
We're in, right? We don't have another data point to draw.
That was on him on 3 and SMU right now, being that they're 11-1.
But do you want to earn the bye? You go win, you earn a bye.
That is true, but do you want to take that chance if you're a head coach? And like he said, we're going to go play, we're going to do that. And he would go on to say, we're going to play, we're going to do the right thing, blah, blah, blah. But that's a serious conversation.
Should not count against them.
And that's
really
kind of.
But here's the thing. Like Alabama, right now, if it unfolded today, would go to Notre Dame to play, right? Have to go to South Bend.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's going to be Big Ten teams hosting. You know, you can go to Happy Valley in December and play football.
That's where Arizona State is currently projected to go,
right?
Which is just
Talk
going
about
from
home field advantage.
Tempe to State College,
Tuscaloosa to South Bend.
It's a great point.
So I mean,
that would be a heck of a game, I think. Alabama Notre Dame, and especially since Alabama spanked them the last
that's
two
what
times.
some are rooting for. The anti-SEC people, that's what they're rooting for.
No question.
Is to just get clocked in these cold weather conditions. You're going to play in domes and you're going to play in warm weather situations if you earn the conference title.
And it will, and like you're going on the point that I think you're trying to make.
One of the semifinals is the Cotton Bowl. I know that for a fact. Is it the Rose Bowl? I can't remember, but I know the Cotton Bowl on
Mercedes-Benz either has the championship.
It's one of the semifinals.
Okay, Mercedes-Benz either has the chance. That's that's another dome that you
like January 10th, the Friday night's the semifinals. So.
But no, that evens it out. Think about Big Ten teams don't have as much talent, but go up SEC, it evens it out a little bit.
If you're craving something sweet and cool today before it really turns cold, get by Andy's Frozen Custards, the best frozen custard that you're going to find anywhere on the planet. They got a location on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, 2 in Conway, and also on JFK in North Little Rock. Drive up or drive through or walk up. They're ready to serve you at Andy's Frozen Custards, Fort Smith, Conway, and also in North Little Rock. Tomorrow, about this time, we'll be talking some Oaklawn with our friend Lane Whitman. Don't forget, Oaklawn opens this weekend. Download the Oaklawn Anywhere app to your phone. You get a $150 sign-up bonus when you use the promo code RUSH25. Live racing begins tomorrow at Oaklawn in Hot Springs. Oaklawn Anywhere app, promo code RUSH25 for a $150 sign-up bonus with Oaklawn.
We'll get a chance to talk with Tom Murphy and the legacy of the late Bob Holt coming up next.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Get the best deals of the year on select New Holland tractors and hay equipment right now at WT Equipment during New Holland's year-end value bonanza. Get the biggest savings with cash back plus 0% interest, $0 down, and 0 due until 2025. Don't miss your chance to harvest our best deals on New Holland's best equipment during value bonanza now at WT Equipment. Offer ends December 31st or while supplies last. For commercial use only. Subject to credit approval and CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salasol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salasol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salasol.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Whether you're planting a tree in your backyard or trenching at a construction site, a call to 811 helps prevent dangerous damage to underground utilities and is the first step in keeping yourself and your community safe. Hitting a line can knock out service to your home and neighborhood, resulting in fines, damages, serious injury, or worse. Safety is in your hands. Call 811 before you dig. It's easy, it's free, and it's the law. This message is brought to you by Black Hills Energy.
What's new and what's on sale at Wheeler Power Sports? Many new bikes, quads, and side-by-sides from Kawasaki, Suzuki, and Polaris are arriving weekly. New to the dealership, the Polaris Ranger XD 1500, Kawasaki Ridge with a full cabin, HVAC, and the all-new Brute Force 450. Plus, we have rebates and dealer discounts totaling as much as $6,000 off certain side-by-sides. WheelerPowersports.com. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Over the river and through the woods, to Salisaw we go. Mock Legal Solutions is opening a second location to serve our Eastern Oklahoma clients. 105 East Chickasaw. For divorce and custody, let us give you the Christmas gift of a new start. And for personal injury, we will get you a settlement check when Grandma gets run over by that reindeer. 918-238-2363. Or check out our website at mocklegalsolutions.com. Free intakes and payment plans available. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Champion Cycling wants to help you find the joy in cycling that's been part of their family for many years. Register today through December 20th at hitthatline.com for your chance to win a specialized road bike just in time for Christmas. Whether you're a child getting your first bike, an adult who hasn't been on a bike in years, or someone who's looking to podium at their next race, Champion Cycling wants to help you find the right bike. A great selection of bikes, cycling apparel and accessories, and great service. 5500 Mizard Road in Fort Smith. Find your next ride with Champion Cycling.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, ample sunshine. Our high this afternoon, mid-30s north, mid-40s south. Clear skies overnight will drop down into the lower 20s. Back to sunshine on Friday, a high on Friday, right around 45. And then Saturday, mixture clouds and sunshine, highs in the low to mid-50s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your morning.
ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
Doing great, thanks.
Bob Holt, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. I don't know if you noticed, it stopped raining right before you came up, so I don't know if you had control over that or not.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hey, if you're just jumping in with us this morning, Bob Holt, one of the best journalists that has ever graced this state, passed away at about 10 o'clock last night. Tom Murphy's worked with him for a long time, nearly 20 years. He's been on road trips. He sat next to him at games. and has had some experience to share over the years. So we'll chat with Tom about that as we continue on here on a Too Stupid Thursday.
That's where we're at, 1 minute after 10 o'clock here on this Thursday morning. If you're planning a trip to Northwest Arkansas anytime soon, be sure and stop by and see our friends at the Inn at the Mill, a great place to stay. They can put you in a great room or a suite for the night, 479-443-1800, or online at innatthemill.com. Also planning those holiday parties, Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. I saw Scott Clark earlier this week complimenting. I was in there the other night. Ty, they've got all the holiday decorations up and, things hanging from the
Scott
ceiling.
put those up?
I'm going to give Scott all the credit, but I think probably Maggie and the gals over there did a great job making that thing look great. So if you're going to get your family together for a holiday party or you're going to go out with friends, Uncorked's a perfect spot to do that. They've got a great menu that you're going to love. They got live music tomorrow night with James Strong, on the 12th with Alyssa Beyer, on the 20th of December with Tori Dock, and after Christmas on the 27th with Jason Campbell. You can check their Facebook page for live music updates, but they're going to have live music throughout the month of December on several dates, so don't miss. They got 2 holiday music nights with Don Bailey and friends that are also coming. You can do that on the 11th and also on the 18th. So lots of great live music and holiday themes at Uncorked, and a great menu, great wines, great bourbons and brown waters that you'll find there, and more beers on tap than anywhere you'll find in the greater Fort Smith area. That's Uncorked, Phoenix Avenue next to Sody's. Make reservations online at uncorkedfort.com.
This hour of the Morning Rush is presented by Mach 1 Financial. Mach 1 Financial Group, LLC is a registered investment advisor located in Rogers, Arkansas. For full disclosures, visit mach-1financial.com/disclosures.
Tom, we bring you in this morning in kind of an unusual situation that we don't find ourselves in very often. You've worked with Bob for nearly 20 years. There's not a lot of people out there that could tell stories about Bob better than you can. What's it been like to be with him at the Arkansas Democrat Gazette and Whole Hog Sports for nearly 2 decades?
Well, guys, it's good to be on with you. I'm teary-eyed right now, and my nose is running, and just still really heartbroken, and more today because of everyone, seeing the love. I mean, we're talking about everyone like you guys who know Bob, everybody in the sports media, and then people who watch the YouTube videos. Everybody's making comments, and but it's because this. And a buddy of mine in Alabama today told me he couldn't find anyone who ever had a bad word to say about Bob. Now, and that's true. Did Bob frustrate some opposing coaches or even Arkansas folks with the depth of his questioning and stuff? Yeah, that happens sometimes, but he did it in such a sweet way and non-combative way that you just dealt with it. And I laughed today too because I saw Mason Schultz sent out one about Kamani Johnson and Bob asking him what OG meant. Yeah. Old guys. No. And Kamani, see, that made Kamani's day. He went and told all his teammates, hey, man, I was just talking to Bob. Daryl Macon taking the video years ago and saying, Bob, you're the greatest. And Daryl Macon sent out a tribute today. Brett Bielema sent out a tribute today. The SEC, the conference office. Bob touched everyone's lives, and it was my pleasure to have driven in the Rocky Mountains with Bob, to have gone to Palo Duro Canyon for the Texas Tech game in 2014, to go down to St. Augustine for a football game at Florida. Bob and I just went and did stuff together, and so I'm going to miss him greatly. And I'm very heartbroken.
Well, let me give you a sec. So you mentioned the Daryl Macon thing. I want to play that real quick. Just a little context. Daryl and Jalen Barford are up on stage, and Daryl mentions Bob in this interaction.
Can y'all please cheese real quick? I'm gonna miss you guys. Can y'all cheese real quick? Thank you.
Let me get a picture.
Y'all see how I put him on stuff? Now he want to get a picture. I love you guys, Bob, especially you.
Especially you. I remember being in that press conference room when that happened. I thought it was the coolest thing. Now, I think, Tom, what's so cool about Bob, you could attest to this working with him side by side, but not only was he great to non Whole Hog Sports and Arkansas Democrat Gazette people and the fans and everything else, like you said, but he kind of mentored a lot of guys and gals that you've worked with over the years. And whether it was someone that was there at Whole Hog or anyone else, he was always willing to talk to younger journalists, radio hosts, TV people. He was just very friendly when it came to entering any action that he had when it came to these type of media stuff.
Absolutely spot on. I mean, some of the younger guys who just started on the beat in the last year or two have talked about how Bob just takes them in and is not standoffish. And I've been doing this for 40 years. I'm more important than you. No. And if you wanted to talk about cats, Bob was your man. So
Freehand.
Daniel Shee. Freehand is his cat now. Daniel Shee, a young man at the University of Arkansas, still in school, did a little deal on Bob and I this fall. And we got mic'd up and did interviews for him for something he was writing. And so he never would say no for something like that. Always had time. The beat was his family. And Matt Jones wrote about that today and did a great job with it, that his family was his work. And it was a family reunion every time he was around us. And, we feel we're feeling it for Bob today.
Tom, talk about Bob's writing, because we talk about his questioning, we talk about the press conferences and the moments that we hear and see, but talk about his writing style. I mean, you and Clay would be the perfect people to ask this question. That the way he went about reporting the game, the way he would work those quotes from the press conference into his copy, until you sit down and try to write 1,000 words on a game you just watched. I don't think people realize how incredibly difficult the job you guys do really is, to come up with a creative thought and the way to surmise it. Give us some more insight from someone that's in the business about the craft and the art of Bob's writing.
Yeah, old school writing, using mining for the best quotes, and that's why he'd ask a coach something, and if the coach's answer wasn't kind of what he had in mind, he would ask it a different way. But so quotes to support the assertions in the story, basically, and to weave a great narrative. It is an art. If someone said, "Man, I could be a sports writer," and you just dropped them into a night game, especially a night game like, say, the Tennessee game that's not over until the last play is incomplete, it is difficult. So Bob, he was a veteran at that. So just had a great skill, and it was just kind of old school. Ask the questions. And some guys in the press conferences would get frustrated that they would drag on a little longer or whatever. But Bob's comeback to that was, and how many of those quotes are you going to use? So he it didn't matter to him. He was going to ask what he needed to ask, and we love him for it.
Yeah. What do you think Bob would think? We could ask him today that, hey, you collapsed, but and it led, you passed away a few days later, but you were doing what you loved. You were covering a game, leaving a press conference, headed back to the press box to write your story when he unfortunately collapsed following that game. What do you think Bob would think about, the final thing he did was doing what he loved and covering a football game?
Well, Tommy, don't think that hasn't crossed my mind. He's a Missouri University graduate.
Yeah, I didn't think
Cape Girardeau. Yeah, Cape Girardeau, where his parents are from. I mean, his family. He had spent the Thanksgiving weekend covering the game against Illinois in Kansas City, with his sister-in-law and nieces in Kansas City, and had driven over from, actually with the snow and all, it was a long, it was a snow-impacted traffic delay drive over to the game that night. So I hate the situation, but I think happening in Missouri was appropriate deal.
Yeah, and I don't know. I didn't know Bob anywhere near the level of those that have been around him for decades, but he was always kind and took time to even if I didn't seek him out, he'd seek me out if I was at a game or in the press box. And that's what I was thinking about this morning is, there's got to be some comfort for his closest friends like you and for his family that, hey, I mean, if it's golf you love or it's fishing you love or if it's covering a game and writing a story is what you love, he passed doing exactly what he loved to do, and I think there's some comfort in that.
Razorbacks who date back to the 80s know Bob. I mean, I've seen tributes from track and field guys, basketball, across the spectrum, football. Dave Basil and I went over to the hospital Saturday night, and we're in the waiting room, and we shared a lot of our stories. And Baz was like, "Hey, Bob, the day I showed up on campus, Bob was covering the team, so he's known Bob for 44 years. So everyone loves Bob, and that's what I have to say."
It's not necessarily the easiest way to segue on that, but I'll close on this with Bob. Tom, we need to find a way to get something Shakespeare's Pizza related at his wake or his funeral, because I know he would, as many times as y'all went to Columbia, and he would want that somehow, some way.
He had tried to gather up everybody to eat there before the game, but as fate would have it, the snow situation made that very difficult. And of course, as I said, he got caught up in traffic. But yeah, it's an iconic place there, and he would have eaten there one last time if the circumstances had allowed.
Tom, in terms of the football team, we've gotten some news this week. We already discussed Campbell and Xavier Sori, kind of the things that have happened lately within the last 24 hours just on the team. Landon Jackson's not going to play in the bowl. We kind of knew that was coming, just waiting on the announcement. One departure in Isaiah Satania, and then one guy that's staying put in Fernando Carmona. I guess just on the two, one going, one leaving, your thoughts on both Satania and Carmona and their decisions.
Yeah, and then obviously with Andrew Armstrong not playing in the bowl, you're missing two of your biggest wide receivers. Although that fourth down catch Tesla made on the last drive was a great up in the air hands catch, and he's a good receiver too. So it's kind of the expected deal. The guys who potential NFL prospects might not play in your bowl, and then for playing time or whatever type reasons it may be, you got guys who are announcing that they're going to go in the portal. So I don't know what their bowl roster is going to look like. This is taking place at many, many schools across the country right now. That the roster sorting, and obviously Sam Pittman understood this was going to be one of the biggest weeks, and their signing class. I mean, you can say, oh, there's a bit of negativity with some of the guys who are leaving, but their signing class was pretty much what they needed, and they got those late flips that had been UCLA commits, including Iamaleava, and it seems like Petrino's going to be here. You saw how jacked up Travis Williams was. You try to create some momentum too, and it seems to me like they're balancing out, and maybe in Sam Pittman's factor.
So on the subject of the quarterback situation, for those that are maybe hearing it for the first time, Nico's little brother Madden is flipped from UCLA to Arkansas, like Tom just said. Tom, do you expect, even with two quarterback commits and KJ Jackson and Taylor on the roster currently, do you expect him to go get a transfer portal QB? Or you think they're good with what they got?
Well, I think with the two signees in this class, and KJ and Taylor, you got four scholarship guys there that seemingly that's a good mix right there. I mean, I saw Scooter Harris yesterday say that KJ Jackson might up have the highest ceiling of all these guys. And so if they can hold those four, I think they'd be in great shape. And I don't think you'd need to add anybody from the portal. I mean, maybe a walk-on guy, just backup. But those four, I would go into a season with.
And you look at the other portal QBs in the Southeastern Conference, not that they would wind up in Arkansas, but it is intriguing to see where Jackson Arnold, Oklahoma quarterback, Connor Wegman, A&M quarterback, where they can end up. Because, Tom, you look at some of the better teams in college football, they've got transfer portal quarterbacks, and that's really where – and Arkansas's got one. That's really where college football is trending, is to go get a guy out of the portal.
It really is. And, of course, the most high-profile position on the team is, if they feel like that – they didn't like their circumstances, or they weren't getting enough playing time, whatever it might be, there seems to me most prone to go to the portal. So this is an ongoing thing that's going to impact the top of college football, the SEC, certainly every season.
Tom, I know you've been grieving this week. Do you have anything else, Tommy? You good? And I know this was hard coming on air and talking about your friend, but for our audience and for us here at the radio station, we really appreciate you sharing some stuff on Bob. And we lost a great one last night, man. I feel for you.
We did. And, I don't mind passing the word on Bob. I would sit here and talk to you guys for great length. I love Bob. He's a brother.
Tom, appreciate it, man. We'll
be thinking about you because I know, he was probably as close to you as any colleague or workmate that you had. But like you said, y'all traveled a lot, went to SEC Media Days, games set by each other. This, it's like losing a family member for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, y'all, it hurts. I've been on the phone driving back from Jeff City on Sunday. I was on the phone with a lot of folks and today and yesterday, and I've cried a lot of tears. And it's, you know what? It's natural. It's part of the grieving process. And I love Bob, and he deserves all our honors and all our respect.
Well, Tom, I know this from being around you two, and every one of your colleagues could echo the same thing. He loved you too, man. He loved working with you, and he loved being with you on a weekly basis. So we appreciate you joining us this morning.
Thanks, Ty. It's just time will help us with the grieving, but it doesn't. It hurts nonetheless.
Big hugs, buddy. If you were here, I'd give you a big hug.
Appreciate it, y'all. Take care.
Tom Murphy, tough morning for him, but a tough few days for those in the media and no one spent more time with Tom in recent years, or with Bob in recent years than Tom Murphy. So, feel for everybody, but especially Tom, just because of the connection and the time that they spent together. Like I said, just it's got to be like losing a brother.
And you were kind of glossing over the different things on social media, the different tributes I've seen. Since then, I was kind of going through it. Greg Sankey has said something, media days, this next go-around, they're going to leave the first question silent, just in honor of Bob. He's already announced that. The Shakespeare's Pizza thing I mentioned, I asked Bob about Columbia when I was in college. He's like, hey, what do I need to do there? And that was the first thing out of his mouth, just to go there. And I did, and it was fantastic. So there's so many stories that Tom and Clay and guys and gals that work with him on a daily basis could delve into, and we'll get Clay tomorrow on at 10 a.m. But it's not just a one-day thing. There, you would take days upon weeks upon months to share all the great things that Bob's interacted with people over the years.
Can't sum up 40 years in 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So, watching the game on Thursday against Illinois and Kansas City, the media area was behind the basket. If you're watching on TV, it was on the right end. You could see Bob clearly. It wasn't a full media section. Bob was visibly evident there.
Yeah.
And you know what? You knew, hey, you're going to know all the backstory on the game because Bob's there. He's going to ask the question.
Pitt was busting his chops last week.
Armstrong went over 1,000 yards.
What
today.
I stopped him?
You just there's only literally a handful, 5 guys that have done that.
You'd know.
Yeah, I looked it up.
Same age. Are you older than me or no?
I'm 65. So
yeah,
I
you're
think I'm a little bit
older.
older. Oh, yeah. But let's go.
Interactions, man. Bob was one of the best of them when it came to the interactions with head coaches here at Arkansas.
The world is not a better place without Bob. I can tell you, we're Razorback media, Razorback fans, going to greatly miss Bob Holt and the contributions he made. All right, it is 10:19 here on the Morning Rush. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by our friends at Mach 1 Financial. 2024 is quickly coming to an end, and that means it's time to begin a end-of-year process and all your planning. That means tax preparation and conversions and a whole lot more that have to happen. Matt, Lee, and John will dive into all of that in this week's episode of The Market Moment to help you get on the right track when it comes to preparing your 2024 tax plan. You can find the podcast episodes at market-moment.com or at Market Moment on YouTube. Just go to their YouTube channel and search for Market Moment. Tune in and get your financial questions answered. Mach 1 Financial Group, LLC is a registered investment advisor. They're located in Rogers, Arkansas. For full disclosures, visit mach-1financial.com/disclosures.
Brinson Searcy this morning. Brent, welcome into the Morning Rush.
Tommy and Ty, my heart is broken because Bob Holt was always a gentleman to me, and he was a pleasure to talk to when I saw him on the road or at the Razorback Hotel at road games. And he was a true friend to me and to my father when he coached at the University of Arkansas. And Bob Holt was one of a kind, and my heart just breaks for his family. And words can't describe when I heard. And I didn't even know that he'd had a heart attack till Sunday night. Somebody, I was talking to someone, they said, "Have you heard about Bob?" And I said, "No." They said he had a heart attack going back to the press box after the game to write his story. And he was just a first-class guy, and he will be missed. And that's all I can say about Bob Holt. Not a bad word. I don't think anybody could ever say a bad word about Bob.
I don't think you'll hear one of them today. And so it's an interesting dynamic when you're a journalist and you cover a certain team or a coach or players. Like, you don't always see eye to eye on everything. And Tommy, I think you brought this up earlier. Like, coaches at times, they weren't madness about, but they didn't necessarily like love to answer every one of his questions. But I'll bring up what I brought up in hour number one. Those questions are what fans wanted to hear from your head coaches across the board at the University of Arkansas, or players or whatever. And I can just say sometimes I was skittish or scared to ask a certain question that needed to be asked, and Bob never was. I asked him one time, I was like, how do you do that? Like, how are you just so nonchalant about asking questions that sometimes may evoke a reaction that the coach might not like? And it's like, because it's my job. And I just kind of stood there for a sec, and I was like, that makes sense. You just got to do it sometimes. He always did his job, and at the same time was just such a kind, compassionate person that cannot be said enough about him. What Britt said, there's not going to be a bad word said about Bob on our airwaves today or here in the next few weeks.
No one ever had a bad word to say about Bob Holt. So that's that's why it's sad. No one lingers on the grieving on the bad guys. Doing the good guys, because he's going to be greatly missed. And that's the mark we all want to leave on the world. Is when we pass, people are saddened beyond our family that our work and our presence mattered, and that 5 and 10 and 15 years down the road, they remember you were there and miss your presence. That's the kind of life we should all strive to live. And Bob certainly did those things. Brought to you by APAC. They have immediate openings in Northwest and North Central Arkansas. And you're looking for a job, not just a job, but a career. APAC can help provide that for you. Opportunities right now in not only their quarries, but heavy equipment operating. If you got a CDL license with no automatic restriction, they got jobs ready for you today. Go to jobs.crh.com. Jobs.crh.com. APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
We got our SEC update coming up next. Basketball. SEC dominated the ACC in basketball, and two of the teams you hate the most ended up losing. We'll discuss that next.
Shop local, eat local, be local.
This is former Razorback Kanoy Kennedy, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Vegas, baby! This is the Morning Rush.
Christmas shopping is easy at Jelco Outdoors, with so many great gift ideas for those.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot.
It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill.
So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Colin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas.
Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Boy, pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They're open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts need, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC finals. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC has got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Springdale, Fort Smith, and now in Greenland. Always online at burtonpools.com.
So the SEC whacked the ACC 14-2 in games the last two nights. Arkansas beat Miami. That was the one that we care about.
You had one job, Auburn.
Yeah, they lost last night to a good Duke team, 84-78. That was a great game.
I wanted Kentucky to be the only team, and it almost happened.
And it almost happened. Alabama went to Chapel Hill and just throttled North Carolina 94-79. Florida beat Virginia. Mississippi State beat a ranked Pittsburgh team. Texas went to NC State and won, and then Vanderbilt went on the road and beat Virginia Tech. Tommy, I don't know if you caught any of that Duke and Auburn game last night. It was great. There was a true freshman for Duke that knocked down 6 threes in the first half. Cooper Flagg ended up with 22. Janai Broome ended up with 20. But we had 4 ranked matchups in college basketball yesterday.
And the question is the top end of the SEC, because you mentioned Auburn and Kentucky, are they as good as the top end of other conferences? Well, and certainly the Big 12 is a different league now with no Oklahoma and Texas in there. So they got Kansas, but that's a different conference.
Yeah, they added Arizona and Arizona State. So to me,
they didn't advance by adding those two in basketball. I don't think not with what they lost.
I was kind of curious. Dave O'Brien, who we had on yesterday, Dave has got roots in the ACC. I know Syracuse was Big East, but he's also got a kid that went to Georgia. Where did he say this other kid went? Georgia, and where was the other one? You remember? All right, so he has SEC tie-ins or whatever, and he told us yesterday, I don't have the clip on me, but he told us yesterday that he thought the SEC was the best conference in basketball, and after a 14-2 stretch in 2 days, it's definitely not the ACC. Big 12's the only competition for that.
I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, is your best three as good as anyone else's best three? Because in the end, what are we going to measure? Who got to the Final Four? Who won the national title?
Bama,
well,
Auburn.
That's not going to be from, most likely not going to be from your 9th, 10th, or 11th team.
Mm-hmm. Bama, Auburn, Kentucky are the 3 best teams in the Southeastern Conference. That Auburn-Alabama game is going to be insane. I think, and I say games in both the jungle and then also when they play. What's the dump in Alabama, Tommy? Basketball facility? Is it Coleman?
Oh, Coleman College.
Yeah, so that's that'll be the best, some of the best basketball games in the SEC. Your best home game is when Alabama comes to town on February the 8th, at least in my opinion. That will be the most sought-after game, I think, based on where Mark Sears, Grant Nelson, and Nate Oates has that team later on in conference play. Continuing on your SEC update, Connor Wigman and Jackson Arnold, A&M quarterback, Oklahoma quarterback, have entered the transfer portal. Miller Moss, the kid from USC, also has entered as well. Curious to see where these guys end up if they stay in conference or they go to a smaller school like we saw Haynes. I say smaller school. Haynes Keene went to Georgia Tech, former A&M quarterback. Curious to see do these guys end up along with Malachi Singleton where he could end up.
Well, and with rev share coming and a big bunch of money getting ready to be added, you wouldn't think a place like it's not about bidding, it's about playing, because you think A&M, if they wanted this guy, they could pay him all he wanted, all he demanded, more or less, within reason. So A&M's got the funds, but I'll be interested to see, is he a quarterback that, Bobby Petrino's intimately aware of Connor Wegman? Would he be interested in that when you've got Taylon Green?
That's a good point.
I think Arkansas's figured it out, but I'm just saying there's an obvious connection there that you can't ignore.
I think that's spot on.
Wegman's battling with an injury, kind of. So.
Yeah, he was banged up this year. I know Elko went off on the media when they were talking about him a little bit, but yeah, that's something else to monitor, Christian.
Yeah. All right, that's your SEC update. It's brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. If you're feeling stressed out, and boy, the holidays can do that to you, unwind with the De-Stress for Less hot tub sale at Burton Pools and Spas. Melt away your stress. The world's best-selling hot tubs designed to rejuvenate your body and your mind with savings right now up to $7,000. Plus, they'll throw in free local delivery, free installation, and never charge you to test your water to keep all the chemicals balanced as well. So treat yourself to pure relaxation with a hot tub from Burton Pools and Spas. At Burton Pools and Spas, they don't just sell hot tubs, they build long-term relationships. Burton Pools and Spas in Fort Smith, Greenland, and in Springdale.
So early in the show, we mentioned that they announced Theo Vaughn is coming to Bud Walton Arena Thursday, April the 10th. The pre-sale's already gone on. I think goes on sale to the public tomorrow. We started listing off other comedians that were great, some old, some newer. I failed to mention Shane Gillis. Do you know Shane Gillis, Tommy? Have you listened or watched any of him? No. Okay. He's fantastic. Kind of a newer age comedian nowadays. But now I'm getting all these texts about different Roy Mercer skits over the years. Like the Dead Dog that we played a little bit earlier. The Car Dealership. Are you aware of the Car Dealership?
I've heard nearly all of them. I mean,
Chinese food.
There's one where he called the assistant pro at Southern Hills one time.
Gosh.
Someone had been taking a leak over there on the golf course, and Sharon Jean
Bad bird
saw
dog.
it. Yeah, international tours of Bixby. He calls up a travel agency in Bixby and wants to take a tour of Bixby.
Give me the context of this. It's two guys that co-host a radio show and they just pretend to be a certain like Craig. Why am I blanking on Craig's last name?
Craig O'Neill.
Yeah, Craig O'Neill used to do. Is that basically just what it is?
This was those kind of bits. I mean, this is probably where Craig may have gotten the idea.
Okay.
It's that long ago. Yeah. It's
okay.
Very similar to what Craig.
They're just complaining about something, and then the only solution is, well, if you're not going to help me, I'm going to.
Yeah. And it's usually an unreasonable complaint, an unreasonable request, and if you're not going to replace it or refund the money or whatever, well, it's just going to boil down to a butt whooping.
Gavin in Fayetteville got Nate Bargatze tickets. You know who that is? I had to get told who that was, but then I looked him up. I was like, oh, I've watched a short or an Instagram reel of that. He's going to see him at the Amp, and then he's going to see Theo Vaughn on the floor at Bud Walton Arena. Gavin, text me back how much that cost you to get floor tickets for Theo Vaughn. Is that something like you would do is buy tickets. I don't think I've ever seen a comedy show. I was thinking back when this came out, and it's on a weeknight, honestly, so I'm not going to go because I don't want to have to wake up at crack of dawn the next day and be gassed. But have you ever bought and paid tickets for a comedy show? It would be awesome to attend if it was on a Friday or Saturday night. I just don't want to wake up early.
I was in Vegas once and saw Seinfeld. So yeah, I bought comedy show tickets. Yeah.
What was the story? Vegas, was it Carrot Top that the football team went to?
Yeah.
Coach Broyles was not
He wasn't quite a fan.
necessarily a fan of the comedic relief that may or may not have been provided that night. So a little different. And I know some comedy skits are way more vulgar than others, but that is the thing. Does it seem like that the University of Arkansas is making more of an effort with Garth Brooks, with this Theo Vaughn announcement, other things that have occurred in Bud Walton, and I know the shareholders meeting, but it seems like they're making a push to do more stuff on the U of A campus, like from an extracurricular standpoint, outside of just sporting events and school-related activities. Do you sense that, or am I making?
Well, I think you're in an era now. I mean, Garth Brooks started that. They proved they could make some money. I think it's about making money.
Mm-hmm.
I think they got to find other ways to utilize these facilities to generate some cash flow. I mean, I think that's part of it. And why not get people inside these buildings on your campus? How can it hurt? So Garth was the first. They had Alan Jackson a month or so ago.
Yeah, and that's the one I forgot. I'd forgotten about that.
I think you're going to see more and more of this stuff.
So who do you want? You could snap your fingers and bring in a Bud Walton, or there's not many people that could fill up the stadium outside of Taylor Swift and Morgan Wallen right now. Who would you want?
Well, that's a great question. Because I got to see Taylor Swift a few weeks ago. It wasn't my choice, but I did see Taylor. I was at the Garth Brooks show. George Strait or Chris Stapleton are always a favorite of mine, but I've seen both of those. You know, you're not going to fill up a stadium, or you could probably fill Bud Walton up like a normal concert for James Taylor, who's one of my favorites, but that's not the broad appeal of some of these.
There's no new age person that you've like, I kind of like that one.
I mean, you know what? We get treated to so many. The AMP has treated us to so many shows. I mean, you get to see some big names at the AMP.
What's unique about it's kind of intimate because it's 11,200, but at the same time, like compared to bigger concert venues that I've been to.
That big, but
is it? Yeah, I was gonna say maybe it doesn't even exceed 10,000, but that's so unique as a concert venue when it comes to Northwest Arkansas.
Our buddy Chris Dooley says Def Leppard and Motley Crue. You know, bring them in. All right, we'll rock it out.
Drew says Metallica. What is Spandau Ballet? Is that a joke? That's from B in Clarksville. Hog Wild adds in Carrot Top sucks. I had to look up who that was. I think Clay Henry told us that story one time on the air, and I'm going to be honest, I did not know who that was. But that's what's coming to Bud Walton Arena on Thursday, April the 10th. And would say, who was it? Gavin said he spent $204 on 2 tickets on the floor. Could be worse. So that doesn't sound too bad in that situation.
Sounds terrible.
Brendan says that Lainey Wilson would fill it up. You go see Lainey Wilson.
What?
I don't think the football stadium, Brendan, but I would say Bud Walton Arena. There's a very strong possibility that is the case.
Hey,
I'd guess here.
Give the gift of Tex Max this year with Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. Gift cards are available right now for the holiday season. Go to joesfortsmith.com or pick them up at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street. Got someone that's on your list that loves Joe's, loves watching games there, half-price apps and taps. The perfect stocking stuffer for the foodie on your list is Joe's Grill and Cantina, and get those gift cards right now. Tomorrow we do the Fence Man Friday picks, a little after 9 o'clock, back on the horse there. Conference championship weekend, anything involving fencing or gates. Call our buddies at the Fence Man, 782-3936. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work. Now, holidays coming up. We was mentioning gift cards a second ago there with Joe's. You know what would make a perfect gift card is a trip to Gaston's. We talk about Gaston's about this time every day, and nobody loves the trip more than that angler on your list to some new place they've never been before, or maybe return to a place they went in their childhood or decades ago. Gaston's is the perfect spot. And if you're wanting something new and different this year, Gaston's would be the perfect gift. You can get gift cards in any amount, whether it's $50 or $500, or you call up, say, hey, I want to pay for 2 nights and a fishing guide and $100 in the restaurant. Cheryl and Jacob and the team up there will take care of that and custom design the trip for you and whatever you need. That's Gaston's White River Resort. Call them at 870-431-5202. They make great corporate gifts as well for your clients or your coworkers. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
You said you and Diva are OGs, old guys?
Like OGs, yeah. Like,
what did you mean? I'm sorry, I'm not that hip.
Nah, that's pretty much what I meant.
Okay. The clarification. Thank you.
This is the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, this is Taylor Green, Arkansas quarterback, and you're listening to the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got trophies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot.
It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill.
So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Conneray Drive in Queen, Arkansas.
Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got trophies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting,
I mean, either way, they're going to bring in guys, and they're trying to get the best player that's going to play the position. I mean, I'm going to have to outwork everybody either way to be the starter.
This is the Morning Rush.
Heard the voice there of former Conway and CSC quarterback Grayson Wilson, who signed with the University of Arkansas yesterday, and that comment was related to Madden, younger brother of Nico, who flipped his commitment from UCLA and has now signed with the University of Arkansas. Brought a buddy with him. So that was kind of the big signing news for Arkansas yesterday. We can talk more about that as we continue on the Morning Rush.
Brought to you by Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. 25 locations that you can find across our state. Hey, when it's time to spruce up your existing home or build a brand new one or start from the ground up, like we said, and need the entire project financed, Farm Credit is there for you like they've been doing for more than 100 years. Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. They've helped local families just like yours and mine make their family dreams come true. Go to myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com. Or again, stop in any of the 25 locations today for Farm Credit of Western Arkansas.
I know this is Derek Ruskin's favorite day, National Signing Day Recap Day here on Sports Talk Radio. Arkansas signed 11 offensive players, 9 defensive guys, 2 specialists, and 1 athlete for a total of 23 players, 22 of which from the high school ranks, 4 of which are from Arkansas. 18 of the 23 signees are expected to enroll early, according to the notes. Tommy, it is by recruiting standard rankings, it is a top 30 class. Unfortunately, the highest it ranks of any recruiting service in the SEC is 12, and that is just what you deal with on a yearly basis in the Southeastern Conference.
There's probably some real diamonds in the rough that everyone else overlooked in there, Ty. We got to coach them up. They're diamonds in the rough. They're going to be just fine. So, is that what we're supposed to say?
I looked at you only had 1 4-star, and I'm not trying to nitpick, but you had 1 4-star on this roster prior to Grayson's on 24/7 Sports prior to yesterday when Madden. It depends on what recruiting service you follow, and there's been times that you look at Arkansas and they have this highly rated class, but I mean you always go back and I might be it's either 08 or 09 when you got that core group of guys and you were ranked inside the top 20. That's just not normal for Arkansas football. And even then, you're probably like 6 or 7 in the SEC relative to some other teams. And so the portal these next few weeks is going to be important. Portal opens on Monday. You've got some guys that are coming back like Xavier Sori, Cam Ball, Fernando Carmona Jr. announced that in the last 24 hours. The guys that are exiting with Malachi Singleton and Isaiah Satania. Any surprise there? Fayetteville's own. Got some more, nearly 500 yards. I think second on the team in catches.
And we should have saw something coming like that. Every year it seems like there's at least one guy that we just never would have expected. But I don't think I would have expected
punt returner. It wasn't like he wasn't getting to play. So, yeah.
What did he finish with? And I'm going to double check, see what he finished with in targets. But I would have thought that he was the alpha slot / wide receiver next year. And I know Andrew was every bit of that this season. Andrew Armstrong was just phenomenal, finishing over 1,000 yards. But I kind of thought that Isaiah would be the main target coming back. He finished, again, 490 yards. How many catches did he have? 37. So only 1 touchdown, at least catching the football this season. Maybe
if it goes like things have went lately, he'll go to somewhere like South Carolina and just beat your brains in, or just have like Rocket Sanders did. Can you imagine this team if they'd had Rocket Sanders? Maybe you're South Carolina this year, and South Carolina's Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Chris Paul.
Sellers was pretty good at quarterback, but I mean, you just think of these guys generally leave and go have average to above average years elsewhere.
Yeah, you think about Chris Paul at Ole Miss was arguably their best defensive player. I think Lane Kiffin would honestly tell you that. You've had some losses. Now, again, I mentioned Andrew. You got him 2 years ago, Texas A&M Commerce, and he was the best wide receiver arguably in the SEC. 11 games and busted 1,000 yards. Number one in catches, yards, catches per game. I mean, he was number one in like all these categories. And so you've gotten guys, but yeah, those two were ones kind of the ones most notably that hurt based off last year's team.
Yeah. So you're not getting better because Satania left. I do know that. Hey, we're brought to you by Pradco and all the great brands of Pradco, including the Bobby Garland Baby Shad, which make a great holiday gift and stocking stuffer right now. Variety of colors, and you can check those out. Bobby Garland Baby Shad's the #1 volume lure of all the fishing lures made by Pradco in their Fort Smith plant. They make these soft plastic crappie lures by the millions and fish it under a light jig head or underneath the float. You'll find it to be productive as live bait. By the Bobby Garland Baby Shad at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. It's the Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
We had a chance to catch up with Dave O'Brien yesterday, who was on call for Arkansas-Miami on ESPN2 Tuesday night. And Dave was kind enough to offer us tickets to Fenway. Didn't hear it.
Please let me know if you're coming and you want to come, you want to plan something, and I've got 4 tickets for you. Any game you want to come on up and coming up to the booth and say hi.
The only Red Sox fan I'm aware of that works with us, Tommy, is Zach. My question is, what should he have to do to go on this trip outside of grovel? Is there anything?
I imagine he'll have Dave O'Brien on his show any day now and try to get the same offer. That's what I would do if I was in his case.
Oh man, that's one of those bucket lists. You still haven't been. What's wild to me, and I know if you're gonna claim a team, it would be the Cardinals, but I still can't believe you haven't been to Chicago. You need to cross that off your list.
That's
and Boston's mine. Boston's my next big city. I need to cross off.
Never been to Chicago, so been to New York. Going to New York this weekend for the game next week, and been to the old Yankee Stadium, new Yankee Stadium. Boston's the next deal.
What's on the top of the New York list outside of the
Rockefeller Center?
Yeah,
got to see the tree. Never been there at Christmas time, so got to see the tree at Rockefeller.
Go to the top of the rock.
Top of the list. I've been there. Top of the list got to be Madison Square Garden. See the Hogs play, right? That's also top of the list.
Wax, Michigan, hopefully next Tuesday night.
Hey, Conference Championship weekend is finally here. Playoff implications are on the line in every game, and you can download the Oaklawn Sports app. New customers can earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. It's really simple. Once you deposit, you are automatically enrolled in the promotion. Get a second chance on your first bet each of the first 10 days, up to $100 every day. Debit and credit cards, PayPal, Apple Pay, Venmo, ACH, they just really make it easy with the Oaklawn Sports app. So bet with the brand you trust. Anywhere in Arkansas, bet with Oaklawn Sports.
Big conference championship games this weekend include Iowa State at Arizona versus Arizona State, Georgia at Texas in the SEC championship, Clemson versus SMU, and then Penn State against Oregon and UNLV against Boise State. We'll talk more about those tomorrow in our Fitzman Friday picks. Loaded weekend of college football, and we've got the first ever 12-team college football playoff. Excited about that. Phil Elson, Matt Jones coming up next on Halftime.
This is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Robert. And we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
I should say it.
Say what? Mom, I think he wants to say that it's Christmas time. Okay, you can say it. It's Christmas, everyone. And guess what, guys? What?
Santa shop's here at the Stadium Shop.
Oh, Lord, Mom. Here comes that dad side.
Nope. I saw him, Matt. You still do believe in Santa, right?
Sure. Believers do get more presents. Okay, so what did he get? Let me guess. A couch for the elves? Call